Part of Sri Lanka's failure following the conclusion of your retirement, you and Kumar Sangakkara, was correlated to the form of Chandi, Thiri and Angelo Matthews. What they could have done differently, Mahela?
I mean, they had enough exposure because I think Angie was playing with us since 2009. Chandi was on tour 2010 to West Indies for that World Cup, so there was good 6-7 years of international cricket in different formats that the guys have played. So but at the same time, I think once we left, the way the team was handled, not by the players but with the selections and processes and all that, I think it was a combination of all that contributed to guys not knowing what their roles were in that team and what they needed to do. So I think for that year and a half, 2 years, I think that whole processes of execution wasn't great, and I think that culminated with the guys not being in form as well, because they were batting in different positions and they were trying different things, all that. So there was no forward thinking and having a plan to say this is what's the best option. And I think that is where they made those mistakes, and that put a lot of pressure on the senior group, and they were not scoring runs, and then later on they were dropped, and roles were changed. The captaincy was an issue. There was a lot of debate on who should be leading, rather than saying no, this is the path that we needed to take, because we had already created that path, and all that had implications, and still we are not been able to take control of that situation. Even up to now, I mean, having Dimut coming and taking over that role has actually stabilized things a little bit. But at the same time, I'm looking from outside, I still feel that that senior group is still a bit disjointed, and we don't still have that core where they take control of those situations.
What would you have done if you were in a kind of a situation as similar to what these guys are in at this point of time?
No, I think it's about everyone sitting down and having an honest discussion and say, what are we doing? It's important that we are representing the country. It's a rich tradition. It's not about winning and losing, it's about competing and competing at that level with consistency. I think what has transpired over the years with the way we've gone about the game is that everyone has become they are questioning their belief, their ability, and actually playing for survival. When you're playing for survival, then the winning mentality goes out of the window. The team mentality, team goes out of the window, because it then becomes individual performances. So I think that you put the players in that situation with the environment around it as well, the selection processes, the way people were chopped and changed. I think there were some numbers in that 2-year period where we have played 50 odd players in formats, different formats. I mean, when you're looking at 50 players being played in a 2-year period, I mean, I'm wondering, did we have enough players in even our first class structure to bring into that level? So that creates instability within the group. People starts questioning, like you asked me that 2003 World Cup question, where are you going into, or when I made the debut, are you going into the game thinking, am I going to be there for that next game? So that thing comes naturally, because you are put into that situation, whether you like it or not. So I think we are still going through that phases. I think things have settled down a little bit with different formats, but I think things could have been handled much better.